Hey guys, we are back with some more New York Islanders franchise mode, and in this one, we are going to get to the year 5 offseason as we have been kicked out of the playoffs versus the Columbus Blue Jackets in round number 3 in 6 games. And Winnipeg and Edmonton are still in it, but we unfortunately have been eliminated by the Columbus Blue Jackets. So we're going to be just simulating ahead here, get to the draft, and then we'll see what happens here. But I'm obviously not expecting too much good out of this draft, as we are going to be picking pretty late, I would imagine, just given that we were in the conference finals. And we're also going to have some names going out this season. Jake Muzzin is one of them. Anders Lee, most likely, because of his contract extension that I signed him to over the last offseason when he was 31, but then pretty much the day after he signed it, he turned 32. So that kind of, threw me off a little bit. But Detroit wins the lottery, and we're obviously nowhere to be found on that board. So we're going to go right ahead to the draft. And I think in order to trade Anders Lee, we're going to have to include some pretty good value going as well with him to wherever he's going to go. Because a team is not going to take just Anders Lee without something other significant going back to whatever team he's going to. So we're going to get into the draft, and we're going to trade Anders Lee at the draft because we just don't have the cap space to be messing around with that. So I'm going to be... I admit my mistake. I probably should not sign any 30-plus-year-olds to multi-year deals as far as extensions go, just because, we don't know about their potential, if it's going to drop sooner rather than later, or if their overall is going to drop quickly. So we're going to find a trade here for Anders Lee as we go to forwards, and he should be down here somewhere. Yep, Lee. So he still has quite a bit of trade value to him, but he is coming off a $6 million deal and going on to a $4 million deal for the next 4 years after this. And he's actually going to be 33 to start next season. So that takes him till he's 37. So in order to trade Lee, we might not even be able to trade Lee since he only has 1 year left on his current contract, but I'm banking on a team recognizing that he has signed an extension. But here is going to be the value that we're sending the other way. We have 5 elite goaltenders: Oda, Hutchinson, Pirjetta, Tarasov, and Gibson. We do not need all of these goaltenders. We obviously need Gibson for right now, but we do not need the likes of Tarasov, Pirjetta, or Oda. Hutchinson is going to be our backup for next year, no doubt, because he's at 79 now, and he's at that point where he can replace Keith Kincaid. Now, Keith Kincaid obviously has not been bad at all. He's been fantastic, actually. But, again, I kind of want to get Hutchinson rolling because he's already 21, and, I feel like he should be cracking the NHL very soon. So we're going to throw Pirjetta onto this trade with Anders Lee, and we're going to see if we can find a team that wants both. Columbus wants both. They're champions, so they wouldn't mind taking Anders Lee, though they are going to have some cap problems, it looks like. So Columbus does not appear to have too many bad contracts, but what they don't have is a decent prospect goaltender. And that's where Pirjetta would come into play here. So we're going to offer them Pirjetta and Lee in exchange for their firsts and, I don't know, maybe a prospect. The reason I'm not taking too much here is because of the contract of Anders Lee. So maybe if we take, is this guy a lefty? No, he's a righty. Figures. We have so many righties. So not taking him. But let's see, McCarty. No. I'm not really interested in any of their prospects. So what I'll do is take a look at NHL defensemen here. Nah. Forwards. So I'm going to look for someone who can replace Anders Lee, because we obviously are going to miss his physical presence. And Milano, not good. Jankowski, maybe. Ooh, Jankowski. Jankowski's not bad. I'm going to see if we can get our hands on Mark Jankowski, because he looks pretty good as a center and as a defensive player as well. So, Lee and Purrieta for a first, and Jankowski. Now, I wonder what the Blue Jackets would say here about Lee's current one-year contract. Even though he's on a 4-year extension, they might actually decline this. I haven't, believe it or not, I have not tried this yet in this game, so I'm curious to see as to what happens. Proposed trade. Trade accepted. Okay, so yeah. No brainer. I didn't want to take too much back because, again, the contract to Anders Lee, and that kind of, just isn't good when you're proposing offers to other teams. So that's why I took a lot less value back than I probably could have gotten, especially for Purrieta. But again, I didn't want to really cheese the game that way. So we got a first, and we got Jankowski for Anders Lee and Purrieta. So thank you, Anders Lee, for your service to the New York Islanders. But it was time for him to move on. Well, it was time for us to move on from that contract, which I shouldn't have signed in the first place. But hey, we lost a medium elite goaltender, which is the consequences of me signing that long-term deal for Anders Lee. So I'm okay with it. We'll suffer the consequences. So Simdi user pick. Now we actually have, we have 2 back-to-back picks in a row here from that trade just now. So we're going to pick a couple of guys here. We're going to hope that there's someone decent available. Alexei Grachev, play in Russia, 17 years of age, a left-handed defenseman. I like to see that. We don't have too many left-handed defenseman prospects. Most of them seem to be right-handed. So let's see. Yeah, not too many advanced analytics on these guys, obviously. Plus 10, no points in 31 games, 22 penalty minutes, plus 13. Defensive defenseman. Don't really need a defensive defenseman at this point. We have so many good two-way defensemen. And Pascal Duret is our main defensive defenseman anyway, so not really interested in him. Philippe Solis in the QMJHL, 41 points, 211 shots. Playmaker might not be a bad option, but you know what? Let's sort by potential here. That Flood guy, and then, Artyukin. Yeah. Artyukin, I remember this guy. I pinned him before I started recording, and he looks pretty solid, obviously. Medium elite. He's a gem going in the 3rd round, it looks like, so I'm going to hold off on Artyukin. I'm going to see if I can get somebody else here, and then we'll obviously take Artyukin later. So, Solis, Leidecker, Lowe, Sanchez, Furland, Gleason. Where are all the top 6s here? A lot of low elites that are inaccurate. So, Schmidt and Flood. So, Schmidt, actually a German. He would be good in the Wolfsburg series. But, yeah, he's not too bad. Goal scoring, nose for the net, and puck protection are his strengths. And his weaknesses are skating, agility, and foot speed. Yep, all the usual stuff for seemingly every other sniper. Or power forward, I guess, in this case. He's 6'4", 218 pounds. Definitely not bad. But is he my first choice? Maybe. We'll see. Because him and Flood look pretty even in terms of how far away they are from the NHL. All these guys, low top 6s. So I may as well just take one of either Flood or Schmidt, or that defenseman up here. What was his name? Artyukin, yeah. So, or you could go with the low elites here. Scarabelli and Chung. Chung looks pretty good. Scarabelli, he's not too bad either. Ilya Burmistrov. Yeah, again, all these guys not too shabby. But where are the medium top 6 guys going here? They're going around the same place that these low elites are. So, you know, I think I'd rather take one of these low elites just because they're closer to NHL ready than those other guys are. B, C, B minus, C, C, C minus. I'm just going to take the guy with the best grades. Ray Chung, B, B minus, B minus, C, C, C minus. And Scarabelli, B, B minus, B minus, C minus, C, C. So between Chung and Scarabelli, I think Chung would be the better option. Although it appears just to be the difference between skating and defense. Yeah, it's just the difference between whether you want a better skater or a better defensive player. And Chung is actually a 5'8" defenseman. So Scarabelli, 6'1" forward. Yeah, I think I'd rather take Scarabelli because, well, I mean, Chung's an offensive defenseman, so you don't really see too many of those at this point. So he actually may not be bad, especially if he's good at puck movement, which it looks like he is. B minus for puck skills. And his only weaknesses are reach and lack size, so yeah, you know what? I'll take Ray Chung. Take a chance on him. And then with our next pick, you know what? With our next pick, we may as well just take Scarabelli because that medium elite guy, Artyukin, is not going until the 3rd round. I'll take him with our 2nd round pick, so we will take Pablo Scarabelli with our 30th overall pick. So sim to user pick, and with this pick, we will definitely be taking Artyukin because he probably won't be there with the 3rd round pick that we have. So Maxim Artyukin, welcome to the New York Islanders. There you go. So let's go on to the 3rd round. No, do not want to make a trade with Columbus again. Go back. Thank you. All right. So really just gonna sort by potential here and take the best guy because, yeah, there's not a whole lot here. There's no exact low elites, but there is a exact low top 6. Another German, Norbert Jahr. 3 assists in 46 games in the SHL. B, C, B minus, C minus, C, C minus. Offensive instincts, defensive zone play, and decision making are his strengths and no weaknesses for a 20-year-old though. So honestly, he could be a very good pick. And I'm not seeing any top 4 defensemen here. And there's no medium or low elites. So, yeah, I think I'll just take Norbert Jahr here with this pick. Welcome to the New York Islanders. And skipping right over to round number 5 here. We do not have a 4th. Sort by potential once again, and then if we don't find anybody this way, we'll sort by gem and busts because there's really not a whole lot to work from now. Lowe, Sanchez, Furland, all these guys not exactly, we do not have a good reading on them. Yaro Simon, I mean, we just traded a goaltender who was medium elite. We have so many medium elite goaltenders. I don't want a medium starter. I really don't. Even if it's for the value. We have a lot of trade value right now, and we really don't need to be making too many trades, to be honest, because I like the core that we have. It's nice and young, and it's like, you know, we could go with this core for another 5 years or so without having to trade anybody. Unless we're looking to completely blow it up after multiple playoff failures. But we've only been improving in the playoffs, so I don't even really want to make too many trades, you know. So at this point, I think I'll just take the highest ranked guy. So CS rank, or you know what, we'll sort by gem and bust first, and then we'll take the highest rank if there's none of those. Let's see, yeah, none. Okay, so we'll just go by rank. We'll take the highest ranked guy, honestly, because there's nothing that we can go off of here. So, Nasir O'Neill, welcome to the New York Islanders. And going into round number 6 here, again, just going to take the highest rank because we really have nothing left. Well, unless it says AHL next to their name, I'm a little weary of that. So we'll take Alexander Desharnais. Welcome to the New York Islanders. And round number 7, here we go. I will take Isaac Guerra from the Regina Pats. Welcome to the New York Islanders. All right, so rest of the draft over with. Let's get to the re-sign stage, the fun part. So Chung, Scarabelli, Artukin, Yar, O'Neal, Desharnais, and Guerra, welcome to the New York Islanders. And let's get to the contract stage, and we're going to just kind of fly through this as, I mean, it is a big year for contracts, so I'll just do a little house cleaning, and I guess I'll show the contract stage. I don't usually like to, but this is a pretty big year. So let's see, the scouts. So we'll just re-sign these scouts in Campbell, Schubert, and Sim. And that'll be it for scouts. Really not much to improve there, as those scouts were all B overalls. Not too much to complain about. And we will get into the contracts here. So let's see what we have going on. So Barzell, obviously, is taken care of. Riley, Shea, Mueller. Mueller. The big contract for this re-sign stage. So let's go through the UFAs who don't want to re-sign first. Muzzin, I was going to release him anyway. He doesn't want to re-sign, so he can go find a new team. Thanks for your 2 years of service here with the New York Islanders, but it's time to move on. Enroth and O'Byrne, I will definitely sign, as they are looking pretty promising. I could see them making a push for the NHL in the next couple of years. Pavelski wants to re-sign. How much does he want? 1.5. Okay, you know what? That's not too bad. But I'll hold off on Pavelski for right now because I want to get through everybody else. Petty, if he wants a two-way deal, yeah, sure. I will sign you for the AHL. Reardon. Let's see. Yep, you're good. We'll sign you. Soderberg, release. And that appears to be it for UFAs in terms of the AHL. Now let's just, well, actually there's Dowd. If you want to sign for 1 year, I'll get you. Because I don't like that age there. Bodie Wild does want to re-sign, and he wants 2.275 for the next 3 years. I'm going to hold off on him for right now. Just want to get all the big fish signed. Bastian for the AHL. I mean, he's not a big fish, but he was just the first name I saw. Kasha. Yep, two-way. Sign you for the AHL. Kolasar. I don't want to sign too many of these guys because we do have some prospects on the up-and-coming, so I'll release Musil. And I guess Wotherspoon will sign, unless he wants a... Yeah, he wants a one-way. I'll release him. So Mueller, Commodore, and Dobson are the big names for this re-sign stage. And Oda, we're definitely going to have to sign. Sign you. And Kincaid. I mean, this is the year that... What's his name? Hutchinson is supposed to take over for Kincaid. But I think I'll wait on Kincaid just because I'm not sure how Hutchinson's going to perform in the NHL yet. And I want to take maybe a month or two to get a look at him, see how he's going to simulate this year. So I prefer to hold on to Kincaid. But presuming that Hutchinson is actually good for this year, we will be trading away Kincaid at some point this year. Again, presuming that Hutchinson is able to live up to the hype. So Pavelski, I mean, we do have a lot of cap space here. We really do, but it's just how much do Commodore, Dobson, and Mueller want? Mueller is the most important by far. So, yeah, 8 mil for the next 5 years. He's 20 years of age, so if I gave him a bridge contract of 2 years, he would still be an RFA. But the question is, where would that take him 2 years from now? How much money would he want then? You know, he would actually probably want more, so I might just want to lock him up long term now. 10.5, that's a lot. That's a lot. But he's worth it, so you gotta do it. You gotta do it. 10.475 is what he wants for the next 8 years. I will give him 10.3 for the next 8 years. There you go, Andreas Mueller. Hopefully you sign. And Noah Dobson, he wants 4.4 for the next 4 years. I will give him 4 years at 4.25. Hopefully he signs for that. And Mike Commodore, he's been pretty good. He improved a lot last year. 4 years for 3.85. I'll give him 4 years. Yeah, that sounds good for him at 3.75. And then I don't want to offer Wild, Pavelski, or Kincaid just yet. just because I want to see how much we have left in terms of cap. But I will get some of these prospects signed here. Artukin, he was pretty good. I remember seeing his grades. So we will sign him. Medium elite as well. Chung, yeah, he was pretty good too. So we'll sign these low elite guys. Dietz is actually a 57. Jeffrey Dietz. I forgot about this guy. And then Guerra, Knutson. So I'll just sign Chung, Artukin, and Dietz, I guess, since Dietz has the medium elite. You know, he could grow pretty well there in the AHL. Rabbits, Scarabelli, yeah, all these guys down here. We have so many prospects now. So we are going to sim up one day, see who we get. Hopefully Mueller signs. Hopefully all those guys sign that we had just went after. So Reardon, Dowd, Bastion, Colasar. Commodore accepted. That's good. Dobson accepted. Mueller accepted. There you go. So there's all the big names for this contract stage. And we are going to see how much money we have left. So we have 7.75 remaining. So it's definitely a good thing that we traded the contract of Anders Lee. We're like just right out of here because we would not be able to afford the likes of Wild, Pavelski, and Kincaid all combined. We might only be able to afford 2 of them in that case. So Petty didn't want to resign, so he can get out of here. Need some spots for prospects in the AHL anyways. Pavelski. Now, I want to get Bodie Wild signed first. 2 points. I'll give him, yeah, 2.2 at 3 years. Sounds good for Wild. Just because we don't really know how he's going to produce at the NHL level yet, because he only played 6 games for us last year. So 3 years sounds about right for Bodie Wild, and he'll be 26 at that point. Now, Joe Pavelski, I'll literally just give him $1 million for 1 year. There you go, Joe. Hopefully he comes back for 1 more year. And Kincaid, I will do relatively the same thing, except a little more salary-wise. We'll give him 1.6. So that shouldn't take us above the cap. But, you know, I want to have a good look at Hutchinson before we make a decision on Kincaid. So that's why we are re-signing him. And we will send 1 more day to see if we got all 3 of those guys back. Schubert has signed. A scout. Kincaid rejected. Wild rejected. Pavelski rejected. Okay, so they all gave relatively similar reasons. They felt like they could impact an NHL roster more. So I guess I'll just release Kincaid. Because we have Hutchinson at this point. It's not a necessity to re-sign Kincaid. I would like to get... obviously, I would have liked to have Kincaid back for 1 more year to just give Hutchinson a trial run. But, you know, you got to give the kid confidence anyway. So we will have Hutchinson as our backup goaltender this year. Defenseman... Obviously, we still have to re-sign Wild. He does want an extension, but he did give us a rejection there, so we'll give him 2.4 for 3 years. I don't want to give him too much, just because he hasn't played too much in the NHL yet. And Joe Pavelski says we have too much depth at his position. Now, that's referring to the right wing, but we have him playing at center, so maybe if I gave him a little bit more, he'd be more inclined to stay. 1.2 maybe for him. Hopefully that works. And I believe that is it in terms of UFAs and RFAs, actually. Yes, it appears to be. Yep, okay, so we will back out and hope that Pavelski and Bodie Wild sign. Rejected, accepted. So Pavelski's back, but Bodie Wild, not just yet. So we have to work on him a little bit. So maybe if I gave him less years... Would he want to re-sign then? Yeah, because it takes his price down a little bit too. So I'll give him 2 years at 2.3. So hopefully he'll say yes to that. But then again, it's also messing with the years, and the amount of years that he wanted was 3. So since we changed that, he might be, oh, okay, he accepted. All right, good. So we have everybody back, so we will sim up to July 1st. I don't think I'm going to be making any signings just now, because I do want your guys' feedback on the current state of the team. And also because we don't really have a whole lot of cap space in general. We have we have a little bit. We have roughly $6 million in cap space, but we're obviously not going to be getting someone like Nathan McKinnon or Pasternak or Mantha or Wenberg or Ovechkin or Drouin or Larkin or Malkin or any of these guys up here. It'd mainly be depth guys like, let's say, Ryan Dzingel, for an example of a player who's on our team, right? So we'll end off the video here on the roster, just so you guys can get an idea of maybe what we would need in free agency. So forwards, we have Barzal, Mueller, Wallstrom, Hosang, Streit, Ragnarsson, Ottoson, Jankowski, Beauvillier, Cizek, Commodore, Dzingel, Pavelski. So I think, honestly, we're all set at forward, but you guys, again, leave your feedback in the comments. And then defensemen, we have Riley, Shea, Durrett, Puluk, Dobson, Wild, and Greiba. And then goaltenders, Gibson and Hutchinson. So yeah, that's really about it for this one. Gonna keep it a little short compared to usual. So let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you guys in the next one when we advance to the start of year number 6. But again, let me know if we should sign any free agents beforehand. So with that, I will see you guys in the next one.